Here with a Battle of Britain game called Eagle Day. Another one of those mini games. Doesn't leave much of a footprint. We have played a little bit of this, and to be honest with you, I was kind of bummed out I didn't record it. It was a good game, a really good game. But we were back here going to do us a little bit of a playthrough / learn through. Although it ain't too hard to learn. It's the same basic rules as was the Cactus Air Force. But in just the initial thoughts of playing this game, it's got a little bit more into it than Cactus Air Force does. So, to be honest with you, we could have played and got more into their strategy of Cactus Air Force, but I wanted to move on. I like a kid in the candy store. Wanted to start a new game. But this one, again, I don't want to say unlike Cactus Air Force, because like I said, there could have been a lot more strategy in that. That was more like our first playthrough, and if you learn a lot through the second game. But here you go. Basically, now, one thing I want to make note of is this going to be, it's not that long of a game, but it can be. Because each one of these hours is a turn. So you got 8 turns times 4. So there you go. 36, something like that. 36, 30 something turns. Yeah, it's a long game. As the British player, you want to make sure you defend these factories and harbors. Remember the two things that kill you. Or, as a German player, you could also bomb headquarters. Headquarters are very, very valuable in this game. So there you go. You can see the British Air Force ain't much compared to what's coming after them. There you go. So that's the first thing that kind of stands out. How does the British going to hold them off? Now, we do have a problem with these decoys. We'll have to figure out how to do that in a solo game. Might be a matter of rolling a die to see if the player detects them or knows if they're decoys. Now, my very first game, though, luckily, the German player had a card that they played right off the bat. He was dealt a card that said reveal all the British units, so he was able to quickly see where the decoys were on the very first turn. So that was luck. All right, we're going to get set up here. The German player sets up first. Gets these things, and I'm telling you what, like I said, there is some strategy to this. It's number one, it's going to be a long game, so you don't want to shoot everything out right away, get everything destroyed, and keep yourself open. So we'll see what we can do about some good anti-aircraft. Now, I think that anti-aircraft, I'm going to double check the rules, but I think you can put as many of them in a block, in a space as you want. So you can make one space almost impregnable. We're going to go down there and look at that again. But I did notice that in reading the rules that you could put more than one in there. Oh, we'll see. So we'll have to figure us out a good defense. And one thing we're playing with that's kind of hard in a solo aspect is this radar. You know, I got a whole system here of how to have units come in undetected. Then when they hit the radar, you can flip them over and the British player can check them out. I mean, it's what you can do with it being a solo player, but there's times where a lot of these planes are, where they at? Parenthesized. That means they got to fly, and they can fly back within the next hour. So we got a way of figuring that out when the units used up their bombs, all kinds of ways. And it's mostly just a system of when they're flipped over, how they're rotated. Rotated will tell you if they're used up, if they got to fly back. You'll see how it goes. But it's a good little game, quick little game. We got plenty of time here. It's the holidays. My work is done. Ooh, I'm ready. My body feels good already. Just having the 3 or 4 days off I've had. So we're here to have a little mini vacation. Gaming season. We'll be right back. All right, initial deployment is as follows. Now, there's certain criteria where some of these planes had to be on what's called, here you go, Luftwaffe 2, Luftwaffe 3, and Luftwaffe 5. They're all colored, and there's some prerequisites, but they're all pretty well set to go. The number on the right is their range, which isn't that long. So, I mean, what they can move in 1 hour, in other words. These boys here can stay up in the air all day. They got to land by hour 8, so they got an 8-hour fuel supply. There you go. This boy here, however, he's got a 5 box range. but he can go out 5 boxes and then got to return. He's got to stay put at a base for an hour to get refueled. So parentheses are short rangers. There you go. These here are bombers. They roll 2 dice, so a die per bomb. When you're fighting in the air, for a dogfight for anti-air is a number on the left. So I'll be rolling 1 die, 3 dice, and so on and so forth. So there you go. That's how I originally am going to set these on up. All right. So let me see here. His command level, German command level, starts at 3. So that represents how many units can be stacked in a box. And also your card draw. You can only draw 3 cards. Now, if you turn in 3 wild cards, that can get bumped up to 4. That's the only way the German Luftwaffe command level can get bumped up, is if he saves those wild cards. So you save 3 or 4, I forgot what the number is, but a certain amount of wild cards. You turn them in instead of using them for their event. And you can bump that up to 4. Oh, let me see. Now let's go to the British. Oh, the British will add 1 for each RAF. Hold on. Oh, the command level. British command level starts at 1. All right. But for each German headquarters we have on the map, we get a +1. So we'll get +3. So that'll be 1 + 3. 1, 2, 3. Our command level will be at 4 because we'll have these on the map. Now, if these get bombed and taken out, the command level goes down. Also, the British player can increase his command level by 1 by turning in 4. I think it is 3 or 4 wild cards. So there you go. These things are really valuable. Plus, any air unit that's adjacent to a headquarters gets its range increased by 1 box. So there you go. All right, that is it. I'll have to check out these anti-aircraft. So, German command level. It starts at 1. Plus, add 1 for each RAF headquarters unit on the map. Headquarters may be face up or down to provide the bonus. The maximum is 5. They only provide us with 3 in the game, so it must be a scenario-specific rule. Oh, British deployment, blah, blah, blah. British reinforcements. On any British city or air bases have to be the headquarters, okay. And AAA have to be at any city or air bases deployed. Okay, that's good. So I guess this would, anything that's named is a city, so I guess that could be a city too. It doesn't say anything about a naval spot. No reinforcements, blah, 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 blah. All right. If the player has all 3 wild cards, only 3, okay, he can play them at the start of any turn instead of the effect of the cards. Raise the command level by 1 for the rest of the game. There you go. Let me check out how many of these we can employ in one spot. Anti-aircrafts, and we'll be right back for the British deployment. All right, another special rule to make note of is this unit right here. This HE-115. It's a seaplane. It can only be based on these spots here. These spots here are bases in Denmark and Norway. That's what these represent. He's a seaplane. Now he can only attack naval targets, which are these right here. All right, just make a note of that. He can only be based here, and he can only attack naval targets. There you go. We'll be right back. All right, another note to be made of is in Denmark and Norway, no short range / parentheses ranged aircraft can be put in there. These all got to be long range, which is fine. I got it the right way, but just a little note to be made of. We're going to deploy these British forces and get ready. We're still checking out to see how many anti-air, if I even want to. But it's only 1 die a piece. I'll tell you what, I think one time in my last game, this is a good note, I had one of these, only could roll, I think I rolled 2 dice, 2 6s, knocked 2 of those planes right out of the air. It was a good game. I will be right back. All right, then, on day 1, hour 1, we're all deployed and ready to go. Little quick look. These units here, you don't know what they are. They could be anti-aircraft, it could be headquarters. You don't know. All you know is there's a bunch of anti-aircraft balloons above those areas. These here are British based units. You don't know which ones they are either. Now, the British also have decoys. So some of those might be decoys. There you go. I don't know what's back there as the German player. All right, so now here in the, what do you call it? Let me see here. It should have a plan. That's what this little chair is for. Okay, now we'll start the game off with the planning phase. So I got my little square thing there to mark off. Then I'll give you a marker on that one. First thing you do is, as the intruder player / German player, pick the number of cards according to your campaign level. So we'll get 3 cards as the German player. Oh, I got these wrong, don't I? Yeah. Oops. Get over here. Alright, now we're set to go. And that explains a lot, yeah. Alright then, German and British deployments are done. Germans deployed first. All their units are based. And as the game goes on, you don't know who they are. So there you go. We'll leave you in the dark. There you go. Now the British just got done deploying. That is all their units. Air units are based. Those balloons represent just anti-aircraft balloons. You don't know what's down there. Could be headquarters, could be anti-aircraft. Who knows? But here you go. That's the way the British have deployed. Alright, so it is currently the planning phase. You have a planning phase and an operations phase. We'll start off with the planning phase. Day 1, hour 1. Alright. And the sequence of play is as follows. Planning phase, campaign card pick. First the intruder / German player, and then the British / interceptor player picks the number of cards according to their command level. So here we are on the German side. His command level is 3, so I'll get 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. And then we will get 4 cards. We get a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Now I have to look at these cards and find out, because there's some that have immediate effect. But after that, there's a reinforcement phase. That's where you get refits. Well, we don't have no units in there to be refitted, so we'll skip that phase. Then we will go over to redeploy, where you can move some units around if you want, but we just got done putting them down there, so we don't want to do that. But let me check out these cards. We'll be right back, see if any of them get played right away. Or rather, as the card will say, immediately. Alright, the German player does not wish to play any cards right now. And we will go on to the redeployment part. We don't wish to... so I want to redeploy. I don't think so. I think I'm pretty well good. I had a plan. So we're not going to redeploy. We'll go on to the operations phase. And this is where you head on out. The intruder goes first, and I'll start by flying my missions. We'll see what we want to fly and what we want to do. Then if I'm over any targets or anything like that, we'll commence the bombing them. We'll be right back. This is the before. All right. This is the after. German player has got all of his planes up. There you go. Now, when they're turned this way, that signifies that they are unidentified. Now, I will have to flip some of these over here and here because they're inside the radar. So the ones that are inside the radar will be flipping over. This guy here, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll leave him unexposed. There you go. That is the extent of it. Let's check out who we got here with our radar system. All right, so we have identified units here. And we have bombing run over here at an aircraft factory, I believe, in Weybridge. No anti-aircraft or units based there. So they will be able to bomb freely. Might have been a mistake by me, and that's what will happen next because it's bombing time. This here is a fighter escort. He's short range. All these boys are short range, so they have to fly back and are also run out of fuel. But he won't contribute any bombs. He's just, like I said, an escort with that 3. These boys here, you'll count 1 die for each bomb symbol they have there. So there's 1, 2 bomb symbols. Means 2 die. Now on a bombing run, you hit on 4, 5s, or 6s. So It's not too bad on the old bombing run. Here you go. They have bombed. Yeah, that spot there is bombed. So we got our little homemade, whoops, bombed marker. Here you go. Homemade bombed marker. Oh, is this guy flipped up the right way? Yeah. Let's get him out of there. Making all kinds of damage over here. There you go. That one will be bombed. And it stays bombed for the rest of the game. And they will get points. Now, once they've been bombed, what I do is I keep them. Whoops. We keep them here. Sorry, bad camera work. But we'll flip them since they're identified upside down, which means they've used their bombs. They're done and they're ready to go home. So rotation, and that's what I do just for this game to help things out. So upside down, easy for me to do one-handed. And this boy here didn't contribute. He's not upside down, but he's sideways. And all three have to go home now within the next hour, so they'll fly to hopefully the nearest base. All right, so that spot there is bombed. There's no other aerial combat. Let me look over the board real quick, get it all straightened out for you. We'll be right back. In response, the British have gone all out and launched all their planes. Some of these planes that were based here, the one that especially was based there, he's next to a headquarters unit, which means he had his range extended by 1. So here you go. These 3 took off from this base here. We're pouncing on some units that are on their way to a bomb. And these ones that just bombed Wayland are getting pounced by 4. There's 4 in that stack because the British command level is 4. It means you have stacking limits 4. This old boy here took off from this spot, but he's just doing a CAP, Combat Air Patrol, above there. He won't have to land. He's not short ranged. Just checking it out in case somebody gets frisky. So there you go. That is it. Turn sideways. Now we will have a couple air battles, and we'll check that out first. I guess the first one will go right here. Get these planes all out of the way. Air battle. And we will see who the combatants are. Be right back. Alright, tail of the tape. The British are pouncing with a Hurricane and a Defiant. Total of 3 dice they'll be throwing, hitting on 5s and 6s. 1 abort. That is all they get is 1 abort. So put that right here. For the 1 abort. Now we'll be throwing 5 die. Looking for 5s and 6s. No response. And they got 3. Ooh, more than enough to abort that whole British squad. So therefore, 1 abort. I think we'll take off. This boy here looks like he's the least valuable. Well, they're both Junker 88s, Ju 88s. Then you have an ME 109. We'll take off one of these Junkers and the Luftwaffe abort box. And both of my planes of the British are going into the RAF abort box. There you go. That's the tail of that. And when the air battle box, we will still have 2 German units. There you go. So after this battle here, there you go. Germans came out ahead. Next one is the big one. Attacking, pouncing on the people that just got done bombing. Oh, one more. Weybridge. Oops. We got back. Alright. Pouncing on the fleeing Germans. We have 2 Spitfires and 2 Hurricanes. That's a total of, here you go, 10 die. Let's throw at them. Alright, on their way out, trying to get out with their skins. There's a couple Junker 87s and ME 109. And these guys have no anti-aircraft capability. He only has 3, so there you go. we'll be throwing 10 dice for the British, hitting on 5s and 6s. Wow. So we got 1, 2, shot down, and 3 that are mort. That'll be more than enough, I think. All right. In response, the German 5s and 6s. Oh, managed to send one home. So, we got 2 of them destroyed. I think on this one you'd want to destroy. I'll take 1 of each. Yeah, 1 of each. We'll keep our bomber. But he goes to the abort box. And this one here goes to damage box. So, I mean, they're not destroyed or just damaged. They can be refit. These can come back as reinforcements in the next turn. Meanwhile, he's got 1 and he wants to abort on us. We will take, I guess, 1 of the Spitfires. Yeah, they're lower range. And the abort box. But these boys here will be still flying in the battle area. It was, wrong one, boys. It was right here. There you go. Alright, and they also have to go back to base, so we'll probably need to put them upside down. And we'll put them up over also, so they're not based, they're still up in the air. So you gotta go back. Alright, that's that. Ooh, that was good. That was interesting. Good game. A lot more into it. Alright, Intruders. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Intruder second hour. We'll go back to Interceptor. Oh, wait. Interceptor, Intruder. Second hour, which was not second hour. Oh, it will be, yeah. It is going on the second hour. That was our first round of play. So we're going to hour number 2. All right. We'll clean this up real quick. We'll be right back. All right, then. During the first hour, Luftwaffe had 2 planes, or what you call them, 2 squads, had to abort, and had a couple of them that are damaged. They had to be refit. There you go. Meanwhile, on the British side, we had 3 RAF units that had to abort, and none have been damaged. So RAF coming out ahead. Meanwhile, the German player, his unit's out at sea. There you go. 1 coming on back. Ooh, the ones that bombed the Weybridge successfully, bombed the aircraft factory there. Had to abort and get the heck out of there. So there you go. And more out at sea. So that's where it stands. It is now the German. What would they call that? Ooh, I guess flying phase? Flying phase, yeah, operation. Alright, German / Intruder. Flying phase. This is a before. Alright, before we start the second hour, I think we'll call it a video. And that's a lot of gaming for me within the last month or so. So we'll be right back, take a little break, upload, and I'll continue playing. Maybe shoot some video of it. Other than that, having a good time with my latest game, Eagle Day. We got this maybe, I think, last spring or something. It's been a long time. But we're just now opening it up because we had a little bit of, I think it was the Gettysburg Centennial or Bicentennial. And we just remembered that we had a Gettysburg game we forgot all about. We did a second bull run of that class of Giants, but never did play Gettysburg. So we played Gettysburg, then I Napoleon came in, so the old Eagle Day and Cactus Air Force were kind of redheaded stepchilds. But they're mini games, which is fine. Minutes to learn, quick to play, historically accurate. We'll be right back.